why it's really important to have a plan and understand what your goals are.
In fact, my camel out there is suffering right now with a broken back.
So I actually found Pepe when it was only a couple of hours old, and I'm like, oh, this is a funny meme.
Oh my god.
Yo! Who is this DJ?
The old man is swing trading over years at a time. And it's like, that's where the real money is made.
The answer is a permanent loss. With single-sided staking, you don't have to worry about impermanent loss.
But really, at the end of the day, it's just the matter of a macro market. It's just what happens.
If you're aware, if you're disciplined, you can hone that into further financial growth.
Financial freedom, so we can actually live life and not have to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, more or less, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto degenerates, ducks and squirrels, welcome to this special episode number 65 of the DGen Roundtable Book Club, where we're going to be reading Green Eggs and Motherfucking Ham by Dr. Seuss, in addition to covering the Declaration of Independence by Thomas Jefferson and the other founding fathers. Welcome to the show, everybody. For those of you guys that don't know, my name is Will Stevenson. I'm a traveling TV tower ironworker builder guy. I roam around the United States building TV and radio towers. I'm at Cedar Hill doing one right now. But in my free time, I like to talk cryptocurrency and self-betterment and self-improvement and education to assholes and degenerates such as yourselves and these fine ladies and gentlemen on my panel and co-hosting and joining me tonight. Speaking of joining me tonight, I am joined by both Mr. and Mrs. McGettit of the McGettit household. Mr. McGettit, Nate, the Ascending Man, is one of the DGen Roundtable's networker guys. He likes to go around and chit-chat with people, see what's going on in other crypto spaces, and he also has his own stream called The Ascending Man Show. You guys can check out over on YouTube. Mrs. Producer over on this side, Mrs. McGettit, is the producer for the DGen Roundtable. She makes the thumbnails, she does the chat bring up, she does the camera work and all the stuff behind the scenes, which, as you guys can probably attest, I do not do a very great job of doing. So shout out to Mrs. Producer and all the wonderful things she does behind the scenes. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. We're going to have a great discussion. But before we get into it, I want to ask you both, what is new and exciting with you? I hear that today is a special day. Nate Broski, what's up, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah, today is a special day. It is the McGettit anniversary day. So yeah, we went out, we had ourselves some what do you call that, hibachi, the Japanese barbecue, and it was really funny because Cass came up with the idea and she was like, yeah, let's go try it out, and it ended up being a $200 meal. she was like with the prices as soon as we got there. I'm like, this is good, this is great. They have A5 Wagyu there, so next time we go, we're gonna have some of that Wagyu. But yeah, no, it was a fantastic meal. Then we went and we saw the new Jurassic World, and that was actually a pretty damn good movie. So if you want to go watch dinosaurs eat people, go watch it. It's pretty good. And yeah, we literally just got home, and I've been messing around with all my other stream stuff, because not only am I on X, not only am I on YouTube, but I am also on Twitch and Kick. Shout out to you guys right now, and they're watching us on my screen here. So yeah, if you guys have any of those, go ahead, go check me out, The Ascending Man, over on Kick and Twitch. But with that being said, I'll go ahead and move it right over to the lady over here. Hey, Mrs. McGettit, how are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Yeah, when I got to that place and I saw the price, I was like, should we leave? Like, I didn't know at all what I was expecting, but I had seen it. It looked cool. Thought we should check it out at some point. So, but Nate was enthusiastic despite the prices, or maybe because of the prices. So it was great. It was a lot of fun. Kind of interesting to be the one who's cooking your meal the whole time. So that was a little different. But yeah, it was a great experience for sure. Yeah, that's all I got. It's our anniversary. It's also 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everybody. I hope everybody's been having a rock star start of the year. Crazy that we're already into July. I don't know what happened to the first few months. Like, they're gone. But anyway, we continue on. And hopefully, eventually, it starts feeling, to me at least, like this is actually, into the year. As for me, as Will has mentioned, I do the thumbnails and stuff, and some of you may have noticed that mostly he's been doing them recently. That is partly because I've been super busy. I know we've talked about it on here before, that I really wanted to get into starting to do more of the stuff with like the Pokemon cards instead of just collecting. I wanted to. Well, my ultimate goal would be to eventually have my own store, but I'm started vending. So I've only done one so far, and that was last Sunday, the 29th. And I went to this little store that's out here that does like their own little like vending event for free. So anybody who wants to can get in, get the table, and they go in there and you sell whatever you're selling. So I finally got to dip my feet into the pool, so to say, and it went well. I was busy most of the time, which the veteran vendors who I've been talking to about this stuff, they say that's really good. If you go to a show and you don't have time to get up from your own booth and go like look at everything else, that's a good thing. And that's what I experienced. So it was awesome. I've got another one set up I've got two more set up for this month. That same place again. And then we're doing one at a mall. So really looking forward to that. And I'm also super happy to be here with Will again. I've missed you, Brett, my friend. How have you been? You said you're working on another tower out there?
Yes, I am actually. I'm stacking another tower over here in Cedar Hill, Texas. We're taking down. Well, we're building up a brand new FM tower for Worldwide Radio. I think Worldwide Radio. The owner of the tower is called Vertical Bridge, but you guys don't care about that. We're building an FM radio tower to service the local Dallas Fort Worth area with I think 3 different radio stations. So it's a cool, super cool job. I'll probably be here doing this for another month or 2, maybe something like that, and then the serious stacking jobs will be done, and it'll be all like small little tiny shit like putting in the power lines and putting up the lighting system and other small things. They need me here for the big construction stuff, but for the smaller things they might go and do it themselves. But yeah, life is great over here in Dallas. I actually just got back from hanging out with a friend of mine over at a flea marketplace. So shout out to Marco Broski. I'm gonna come see you as soon as this podcast is over. I found this really cool on the subject of things that are new and exciting with me. I found this really cool aircraft. This is like an aircraft escape and survival axe that like they used to put inside of airplanes and shit. So like when an airplane crashes, you would find these things to like help free yourself out of the helicopter or something. But I was super stoked to find it, so I was like, "Oh, I'm fucking buying this bitch." So I bought a really cool axe and a couple new swords lately, and I'm gonna be heading back over there tomorrow, and it's gonna be a great time. Hang out with my brother, hang out with some other friends, and then go play some craps with Alan, do some gambling and degenerate stuff. So it's just been a really great. It's been a really great start to a really cool weekend. So I'm pretty stoked about it, and yeah, I'm happy to get into this. Happy to get into this thing, and happy anniversary to the two of you guys. How long have y'all been together for?
See, this one has like I have to answer, and if I answer incorrectly, it's the doghouse for me. 12 years.
Holy shit! Shout out to you two. 12 years is a long fucking time. So keep it up. We love it. We love to see it. And in addition to anniversaries and people having great fun times, let's go ahead and shout out the folks at home who have joined us. It's time for Chat Motherfucking Shoutouts, the part of the show where we shout you guys out for interacting with us. So happy anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Baguette. Glad you guys were able to go out and get some delicious hibachi. That's super cool, super awesome. And let's go see what the folks at home have to say to us. So Cass, there we go. Yep, starting with Miss Amber Simon. Amber Simon says, hello. Hello to you too, Amber Simon. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Yep. Shout out to Amber Simon. She's been making some great fitness progress and documenting it over the DGen Roundtable. Yep. And also we are joined by Miss Tam Tam. Miss Tam Tam says, hello, my lovelies. Hello to you too, Tam Tam. Shout out to the #1 cheerleader in the Pulse Chain and Hexaco space. Glad that we could have you with us tonight. And that's all that we have for the chat shoutouts. There's 30 of you guys watching. So shout out to Battleheart and Sniper, who I know is ninja watching out there. We love you, Sniper. And congratulations on your promotion in the DGen Roundtable to a Banhammer wielder today. And also to Mr. Jonathan Navarro and No Money Mike for you guys' Banhammer capabilities. I am so happy to see you guys swinging those things around. And I can't wait to see all those Solana bots get crushed. Yeah, that covers it pretty much for the beginning of the show. All of our housekeeping items. Good to know that you guys are doing great and that life is going pretty great. Oh, just kidding. We've been joined by one more. Mrs. Producer, can you pull up Mr. Chad Donnerschwanz says, happy 4th, fellow based crypto bros. Happy 4th of July, Independence Day to you too, Mr. Chad Donnerschwanz. It is a great day today. It is a fantastic day. It's the best day. It's wonderful. You've never had a day quite like this.
Not you two.
We're going to start. Oh, everybody's gonna be doing wonderful, wonderful Trump. Nobody can do a Trump impersonation quite like me. It's wonderful. It's the best. You're gonna love it. Um, enough of that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut out my virtual background because I know that if I try and read Green Eggs and Ham with the green screen up, then it'll green screen everything in this book because I was doing a test before the show went live. So, is there any objections before we start the show? We're gonna read Green Eggs and Ham because I promised you guys that we would do it, and it's gonna be a good time. I did actually have ChatGPT write up a dissertation on Green Eggs and Ham. Turns out there's only 50 words that they use inside this book. But Nate, Mrs. McGettit, would you guys like for me to read you a nice little bedtime story about Green Eggs and Ham and psychology and things?
If I fall asleep, just it's okay. Just no.
Oh, you won't fall asleep. I guarantee it. I'm gonna be yelling. Mrs. Producer,
Read
would you
me
mind
a story, Will.
Would you mind bringing me up? Removed. I've been taken away.
I yeeted you instead of full screening you. There
right.
we go.
There we go. All right, guys. So this is Green Eggs and Ham, a tale of trials and tribulations by oh shoot, what's his name? The guy who wrote it. Dr.
Seriously,
Theodore
Dr. Seuss, come on.
Theodore Seuss Giselle, known globally as Dr. Seuss. All right, here we go.
Dr. Sussy.
Green Eggs and Ham, a Hobbit's Tale by Bilbo Baggins. All right, so here we got some copyright stuff that nobody fucking cares about. Boring. I need to wet my finger here. I am Sam. My goodness, I can't flip these pages, guys. Sam, or then he runs away. Now you guys can't. I don't know if I can put this close enough, but this actually this has the ABCs right here. So fucking so homie, the narrator guy, he's actually reading a piece of paper that says A B C D E F G. So that's pretty funny. I thought, anyways.
He's just testing his eyesight out.
Bless America! All these pages are sticking together. Man,
Oh, that's.
I should have warmed these pages up or like got them wrinkled and shit before I started reading them. All right, so
When you want to read
That's
a book
Sam
and
I
it
am.
just won't turn the page.
it just won't turn the fucking pages, and it's getting blurry now. Come on, camera, do the thing. Ooh, there we go. All right, that's Sam I am. That's Sam I am. I do not like that Sam I am. But do you like Green Eggs and Ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like Green Eggs and Ham. Wow, this is a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. Would you like them here or there? I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like Green Eggs and Ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse? I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like Green Eggs and Ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you eat them in a box? Would you eat them with a fox? I wonder if we're going to get copyright strike for this because I'm literally giving you guys the free sauce over the internet right now.
It's the free sauce.
Yeah, it's like I've just realized that like, oh, this is like they sell this for a specific. It's like, you know, if we were to play a movie on this on this stuff, we get a copyright strike. Not in a box, not with a fox, not in a house, not with a mouse. I would not eat them here or there. I would not eat them anywhere. I would not eat Green Eggs and Ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you, could you, in a car? Eat them, here they are. I would not, could not in a car. You may like them, you will see. You may like them in a tree, which clearly that's a tree. I would not, could not in a tree, not in a car, you let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here, or I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like Green Eggs and Ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. A train, a train. Could you, would you on a train? Man, there we go. Not in a train, not in a tree, not in a car, Sam, let me be. I would not, could not in a box. I would not, could not with a fox. I will not eat them with a mouse. I will not eat them in a house. I will not eat them here or there. I will not eat them anywhere. I do not eat Green Eggs and Ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Say, in the dark, here in the dark, would you, could you in the dark? I would not, could not in the dark. Would you, could you, in the rain? I would not, could not in the rain. Not in the dark, not on a train, not in a car, not in a tree. I do not like them, Sam, you see. Not in a house, not in a box, not with a mouse, not with a fox. I will not eat them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam, I am.
This is definitely
Could
the
you,
best book
would
ever.
you, with a, yeah. We are so far 42 pages into this literary masterpiece.
Whew, wow, that's
Could,
that's a long time, man.
I know this is like one of the fastest page turners that there is. Could you, would you, with a goat? I would not, could not with a goat. Would you, could you, on a boat? That boat does not have a sail. I would not, could not on a boat. I will not with a goat. I will not eat them in the rain. I will not eat them on a train. Not in the dark, not in a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I will not eat them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. Do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. This is driving me crazy, man. I do not like green eggs and ham. God bless America. I do not like them, Sam, I am. He's committed. You do not like them, so you say. Try them, and you may. Try them, or try them, and you may, I say. Sam, if you will let me be, I will try them, you will see.
He literally annoyed him to the point where he's like, fine.
Yep. And then there's something to be said about persistence. Say, I like green eggs and ham. I like them, Sam, I am. And I would eat them in a boat, and I would eat them with a goat. And I will eat them in the rain, and in the dark, and on a train, and in a car, and in a tree. They are so good, you see. So I will eat them in a box, and I will eat them with a fox, and I will eat them in a house, and I will eat them with a mouse, and I will eat them here and there, and I'll eat them anywhere. I do so like green eggs and ham. Thank you, Sam, I am. And that
then he
is
died.
the end of Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. So we've knocked that out of the way. That was actually a lot more of a chore than I thought it would be. You can take me out of full screen mode, Miss Cass. There was some silliness. So I had ChatGPT write me up a dissertation on Green Eggs and Ham, and I'm not going to read through the entire thing because it gave me seven essential chapter breakdowns on like the significance of simplicity, structure, symbolism, and storytelling, open-mindedness, epistemology, and power of will, and then just like so many other things. This is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, there you go, guys. Green Eggs and Ham, A Hobbit's Tale by Bilbo Dr. Seuss Baggins. And now you guys are richer as a result of having heard this fantastic book. So Mr. and Mrs. McGettit, did you guys ever consume Dr. Seuss literary work when y'all were growing up? Was that part of your
Oh, yeah.
that was part of your upbringing? What about you, Cass?
Big time.
I was familiar with it for a long time. I think it was actually one that I really enjoyed as a kid. But I always was off put by the fact of things being green.
Oh yeah.
That is the color of mold, and it is no longer safe to eat. So, a little bit weirded out by that.
Food.
Yes, it elicits that disgust reaction. I'll say that like I learned about racism from the Star-Bellied Sneetches Dr. Seuss book. That's how I learned that like sometimes people just don't like other people because they look different. And then it's like, just don't do that and you'll be okay. And maybe you got to print a star on your belly. And also plastic surgery, I guess, came from the Star-Bellied Sneetches because they all started getting stars printed on their bellies until they were all until no one was special again. But I think that the moral of this book is persistence. If you just keep persisting, then you'll eventually win out and force people to
just be a nuisance and you'll get your way.
basically. I mean, I don't know if that's a good moral to pass on to kids or something, but that's what I'm getting out of this book. So anything that you guys got out of this Green Eggs and Ham thing? If not, we will.
I'm going to play it for Soren. You're live reading. I'm going to play that for Soren next time he's home. He's at my mom's right now.
Oh, excellent. Cool beans. Uncle Will here with the with the reading of Green Eggs and Ham. I hope I didn't swear too much for his tastes.
Oh no, I don't think you did during the reading anyway. I'll make
Okay.
sure it's specific.
Excellent. Well, what I've got next is the Declaration of Independence, which is, total 180 flip of our show here going on. Yeah, that's enough of green eggs and ham. Let's talk about today. The significance of today. We are here to celebrate the independence, or the Declaration of Independence of the United States from the Kingdom of Great Britain back in the day. I don't know if they called it Great Britain or if they called it England or whatever the hell, but we ran away from them because we were basically like, hey, I'm sick of your shit and we're going to do our own thing. So one of the things that I want you guys to think about today is, for the folks at home and the members of the panel, is like, think about what are some of the things in your life that keeps you a slave, that you want to declare independence from, that you want to break away from. And moving forward, like how many different types of slavery do we have in the world that we live in today? Not like slavery in the people sense, with like, picking cotton and going to war as like little foot soldiers and things, but like think about the voluntary slaveries that we put ourselves in, whether it's like going to a job, being married to someone that we absolutely can't stand, um, having to work for people that like we don't not you guys, having to work for people that we don't particularly enjoy. Like think about the things in which people enslave themselves in today's world, and just think about that sort of stuff as I read through this Declaration of Independence. So let's see. Oh, if I present, it'll
Man, if only we
automatically
had a little bit of music to go along with it.
I did not add, I don't think I added any any
Are you
any
volunteering to sing for us, Nate?
we've got heavenly music.
Sure, yeah, I can make everyone's ears bleed. That sounds like a great idea.
The Star Spangled Banners. Oh, here we go.
And his name is John C.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
American, if you will.
It is probably the most American thing that we're going to be doing today.
Here.
All right, so I've got this. Ooh, well played, Cass. Well played. All right, so when I present this tab, because I'm also in the producer chair, I think it automatically brings it up. So get ready to do the camera and background switcheroo thing, Cass. So here we go. We have the official Declaration of Independence. I don't know if this is like the actual one, or if
God, are
this
you
is
going to
like
be able to read
a
that?
copy. Yeah, so I can read it, but I don't
that.
think that the folks at home can read it. So instead, I'm just like showing you guys this is what it looks like. It's kind of a wall of text. This is back before they thought of paragraph breaks and things like that. They were just like, yeah, we're just gonna fucking write it all out because screw the rules. We've got the money. I'm gonna
I
actually
wonder if
switch to sharing this tab.
You see those? Did you see those lines that they had in there every now and again? I wonder if that was meant to be like their breaks.
I think those are. Yeah,
Maybe
what
it's meant
are
to be
those?
a pause. Interesting.
Maybe
I've
those
never
are pauses.
seen.
Huh.
I've never really looked at like old school written things like this, so that's really interesting.
Yeah, to any if there's any Declaration of Independence eologists in the chats, can you guys tell us what these long dashes are for in the Declaration?
It's crazy to think that somebody wrote that with a freaking pen. Isn't that
Yeah.
wild? Like,
This is
how
really
long does it take to look that good? Like, my handwriting sucks.
I'm willing to bet they had a rough draft and like a second.
They had several actually, and the person who they ultimately got to write it wasn't even one of the founding fathers. I don't think it was. They hired somebody who had really good penmanship. I read that when I was looking for a picture for the thumbnail. So.
That makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to the prettier one, the Declaration of Independence by J.K. Rowling. Right over here, we've got.
Really quick before you start, do you want to do? We got 2 new people for chat shoutouts.
Oh, we got some more people. Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and do some chat shoutouts before we start with this Declaration. Excellent. So who do we have? Looks like first up. Oh, we've been joined by Jemmy. Shout out to Jemmy. Good to see you, Jemmy. Everyone's favorite babushka in the Pulse Chain Spaces. Happy Independence Day, everyone. Happy Independence Day to you too, Jemmy. We love to see you here. Most excellent and awesome. And we've also been joined by my good buddy Josh, Mr. Slide 180. Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day to you too, good sir. We're all going to declare independence from something today. I promise you that. Yeah. All right. Sweet. So let's go ahead and shall we hop on into it? That's what I'm thinking.
Let's go.
All right. So this is in Congress, July 4th, 1776, almost 250 years ago. We got one more year, and then it's 250 years. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them to with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
Wow. So right off the bat, they literally just say nature's God. So that means it could be anybody's God, right? It
Yep.
doesn't have to be the Christian God, even
Yep.
though, you know, the United States was founded on Christianity. They're very, very inclusive.
Yep. And basically what like the TLDR of this whole thing is like, hey, I'm leaving and I should tell you why is basically what that is. So there we go. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been.
Holy, how are you able to read all that? Jesus.
This is it's getting tricky, man.
Yeah.
Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world.
Wow,
So
they are pissed. They are just so mad at the king.
you done been fucking up, and we're sick of it. And a lot of people will just sit around and take it for a long, long time, but it's been too long, and so we're fucking out of here. That's
Yeah.
basically that's
Yeah.
my. What do you think, Nate?
Well, I'm finding it kind of interesting because they were talking about how I would almost equate to kind of like what's happening in our government right now, because there's what is it they were saying, the usurpings and things like that, abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object invents designed to reduce them under so basically, it's kind of like when corruption starts happening and people start taking positions of power just simply because they want that power and they didn't rightfully earn it. It ends up falling back down onto the people, right? And their whole idea is like we're sick and tired of these governments that are top down, and so we're gonna start this one off by being a republic that starts with the people, and then the people go, hey, we don't like you, we can get rid of you then. But you can tell here that they are pissed as all hell, and they're done. Talk about no king's protest. They were sick of a king. They didn't want a king at all. Like our president too is no king. Our president's not able to be a king. We the people put Trump in place to do exactly what he's doing, and he's pissing off a lot of people right now. But that he's the reason, like we the people put him there to do that, because we Americans were like, fuck off. So yeah, 4th of July, happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day. Before we list off all the grievances, Cass, do you have any thoughts? I've never actually read this whole paragraph in full before. Was this did you have anything that stood out to you, Cass, as I was going through this?
Nope. The only thing I'm seeing is old world language, and like Nate said, they're pissed.
Oh yeah, they're pissed. I think who was it? I think it was D. Williams that said that we're not going to take it anymore. So there you go. All right. So let's read off all the grievances. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. And so these are claims about the King of England. I believe it was King George at the time. Could be wrong. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of larger districts of people, unless those people would relinquish their right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures.
Wait, what the
He has
hell does he mean
dissolved.
by that? What do they mean by that? The
Yeah, so this
legislative bodies, the unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of the records.
basically
fatigue
what
them?
he's saying is like if you want to participate, then you got to come all the way over to England where you don't live in order for us to talk to you about how you govern over
Oh,
there. So it's like
wow.
basically like, hey, come travel back and forth, so that way you can be a good governor boy or something like that. And so it's like doesn't work that way.
I love how he's like unusual places too.
Yeah. It's interesting language choice.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, carrying on. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of people. He has
Manly
refused for
firmness.
a long time, after such dissolutions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions from within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws of naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of the new appropriations of lands. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their office and the amount of payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. He has kept among us, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for establishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our governments, for suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy of the head, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has exited domestic insurrections against us and endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of all our frontiers the merciless Indian savages whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. So that's the list of grievances. Whoop, there we go. I need to go forwards in time. Aha! Yep, so that's a list of all the grievances, of all the dumb shit that he has done. Yeah, that's quite a list. I didn't know. I've never gone through this. Again, this is my first time ever reading the Declaration of Independence. So, Nate, what are your thoughts on this huge fucking list?
It kind of feels like the number one thing that they're pissed at is actually two things: money, so like trade and money, right? Stop taxing us. What the hell, dude? And then number two is the military.
The violence.
Based on the violence. Based on reading this, basically the king it just always has a large amount of military personnel overseas, in America, and they're like, hey, why are they even here? They don't need to be watching us this way. Like, what's wrong with you, dude?
Yeah.
and apparently every time they're like trying to send off something saying like, hey, get him out of here, what are you doing? He's like, oops, I dropped that one, where'd it go?
Yep.
Just ignoring him.
It's like the things you're talking about, like the people at war and the people taking the money. It's like those take away two of the four pillars that I talk about of sovereignty. You've got safety, you've got transaction, you've got transportation, and you've got speech. So like the king's basically taking away their safety and taking away their transactional power, and that's the thing that like will stop them from being free people and stuff. And that's essentially what I'm getting out of this huge list of things. What about you, Casa? Did you have any thoughts on this stuff before we continue on?
Nope, not too many thoughts. It just sounds like basically they're trying to say this dude is a terrible leader. We're tired of dealing with his shit. He's obviously not putting us first. And so, yeah, they're just kicking him out.
Yep. Get the fuck out. All right. So here we go. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. So basically, they said, "Hey, can you please motherfucking stop?" Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be a ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity. We have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress, assembled appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge each of our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. And then there's a list of all the folks that have signed it. So all these gentlemen from all these different states then did sign it. So that's the Declaration of Independence. I got a little bit of chills there at the very end reading that last paragraph. A little goosebumps on my arm started standing up. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool that they're like, hey, you done fucked up, and we're sick of it, and now we're out, so that way we can go take care of ourselves. And then there was a war fought, and winner winner chicken dinner, United States of America, baby. So here we are. Thoughts on the entirety of the Declaration of Independence, Mr. McGettit, Mrs. McGettit, and anyone in the audience, if you guys have any thoughts or anything as well, we would like to hear them. Cass, I'm going to go ahead and take down the screen share. But Nate, what are your thoughts overall of this fantastical declaration?
I was only thinking, as you were finishing that up, right, and reading the last paragraphs there, my brain kind of went dead, and there was only one thing that was happening to me.
I can sort of hear it. I can't quite hear what.
I didn't know. I didn't know if that was gonna happen, but it's the song "America." Fuck yeah!
Oh, the South Park guys. America.
No.
Yeah.
No. Team America, fuck yeah!
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not South Park. The creators of South Park,
Huh?
but yeah, the Team America. Fuck yeah,
Oh,
dude.
I didn't even think about that, honey. Yeah, you're right. I could have shared the screen. Cassie was like, "You could have shared the screen." Like, oh, whoops.
Well, it works out.
Oh well.
It's been a while.
Cass, do you have any thoughts about the Declaration of Independence? Is this something that's important to you? Do you not care? Or actually, that's a bad way to phrase the question. Does this like bring to light any new thoughts or like I never really knew exactly what all the shit was that England was doing wrong. It's like, oh yeah, taxes and whatever, dumping tea in the harbor. But I never really like thought about the like, hey, you're trying to make us go to fucking Congress, but Parliament like all the way across the ocean, so that way we could do some bullshit and then come back and then find out our house has been burned or some shit.
Yeah, I've never read this either, so I'm in the same boat as you. So I had no idea kind of what it was, the Declaration of Independence. I mean, the name in and of itself means we are declaring we are independent. So I guess that, is a no-brainer. But I did not expect them to go into like this big long list of like, hey, this is why this guy sucks and this is why we're telling him to go screw himself. And it's just like, wow, this whole thing is just a big letter bashing that dude and telling him that we don't want to deal with him anymore, which to me is both hilarious, but also like I really want to know, like, did it work? Like, because you said we have, obviously we had to have the war. Like, would this have done anything if the war was not also involved? Like, could you just write a strongly worded letter to like the king and be like, "Screw you, dude," and then he's just gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, okay, cool, that's fine, whatever, I don't care." Like, it's hilarious. It's a little hilarious or funny to me, just the concept of like, we're gonna write this really long-winded thing, basically telling you that you're an asshole and we're not gonna follow you anymore. And then like that just means we're independent of you now. Like, bye, dude. Like, okay, I don't think it works that way. So it's fascinating to me that that's basically what this is. And then it's just like, okay, well now we're gonna fight you, and so long as we win, goodbye, dude. Like, what if we had lost? What would he have done if like this letter was presented to him? They had the war and like Britain won, and then what would he have done then? Like, haha, bitches, I won. Y'all got to stay now and do what I tell you to do. Like, or would he have like kicked these people out?
Instead of drinking this coffee, I'd be drinking tea. I'll tell you that much.
So yeah, that's fascinating. I'm like I said, I've never read it either. I honestly kind of have never really known exactly what it was, other than, like I said, a Declaration of Independence saying, we are going to be independent of you now. And I always associated the Declaration of Independence and the Ten Commandments as being like something that kind of happened very close to one another. And I don't know if that's true, but now I'm like not really associating them with each other anymore. So now I'm kind of curious as to where that came about and how that came about, and is it like way more ancient? Because that would probably make sense. But I don't know. I guess somewhere in my brain I kind of connected those two things, and I don't think they're connected. So I've learned something new.
They're connected in like spirit and ethos. The Ten Commandments is essentially like, hey, this is how you should act as a human being under the eyes of God in the Jewish and Christian religion. So that was all like time of Moses, which is a couple thousand BC. And then Declaration of Independence was 1776. So like they're separated by several like thousands of years, but like the ethos is pretty similar in that like the Declaration of Independence describes like, hey, you who are in charge of us are doing all these things wrong and we don't like it. So like you can kind of sort of you can compare that to like God telling Moses on Mount Sinai like, hey, these are all the things that the people of Israel are doing wrong, and so write them down on this list and don't fucking do them. So like I would say that it's probably pretty similar to both the Declaration and the Constitution. The difference being that God did not declare independence from the old Jews and the old like the pre-Christians at the time. He basically told him like, hey, this is how you don't fuck up, and this is how you be a good person. So like follow these 10 rules and you'll be all right. The declaration
Yeah.
is more of like a, and I think, you know, kind of we all kind of go through some sort of declaration of independence at some point in our lives anyways when we leave our parents' house. And we're like, hey, I'm
Hmm.
going to go and interact with the world on my own terms, and I'm like, I'm done living with you, I'm done with you feeding me and taking care of me and providing my security. And, you know, like this would be kind of like a child saying like, I'm fucking packing up and I'm leaving this house because I'm sick of getting beat by the parents or something like that, you know.
Hmm.
In almost every human relationship you have two paths. You have either peace or war, like where you've got like, or friendship or war, I should say, where you've got like the two parties are engaging in like helping the other get their goals done, versus like war where it's like I'm trying to impose my will on you. In this instance, you know, the kingdom of Great Britain was imposing a lot of like bad stuff on the people of the colonies, and they didn't like it, and so they're like, all right, we're fucking out of here. And so they declared like, hey, I'm fucking sick of it, I am emancipating myself, I'm independent of you, I'm no longer a part of this thing, you know. But like at some point, we all kind of declare independence. At some point, Soren is going to declare his independence from you two. You know, then like he's going to go off and do his great
Hopefully.
things. But like hopefully, yeah. And the difference between Soren's independence and, you know, the colony's independence is that you guys are on Soren's team. You know,
Hmm.
and in this case, England was not on America's team. England was like, I'm going to extract, gimme all of your good America things, and by the way, I'm going to hurt you the whole time. So it's basically just like, you know, a person walking away from an abusive relationship and writing a really long angry text about it. That's what the Declaration of Independence is. So
That's a pretty good summary. I wanted to add in, Nate can tell you, can attest to this. My weakest subjects in the entire world when it comes to things that I have studied and things that I am, I guess, knowledgeable in would be history and geography. So I feel really dumb being like, oh, this was in 17 DC or before Christ, and this one it was in like 100 or 200 years ago, about just about. Um, yeah, but so I guess I didn't mean to say that. I thought they came out at the same time, but I somehow considered them related to one another.
oh,
Um,
I mean,
and
yeah,
I
so
think it's real quick right before. I think it's fascinating how humans kind of have had this concept for basically forever now, that they can write something down, make it like a statement, make it like a law, and then they present it to the rest of, humans. And we actually tend to follow those things. Like there are many people who would swear by, following the Ten Commandments and kind of keeping that, um, what's the word, that standard for like just human lives and how to treat one another. And all it really is, what it boils down to, this Declaration of Independence, and then also the Ten Commandments, and then anything else that we write that are, similar concept type of things. Humans decide whether or not to follow these things, and it's fascinating to me that we have enough of the same commonality in the way that people all think to be willing to go with it. It's like, because it's just words. People could see these Ten Commandments and be like, you just made this up, dude. I do not care at all. But enough people back then all agreed to it, and enough people with the Declaration of Independence agreed to it, that they're things that we like just legitimately have come to follow, and it's become a part of who we are. And yeah, that's all I would say. I just think that's kind of neat. It's really kind of a fascinating idea to me to like look at human nature and be like, yeah, that's we have enough cohesiveness and enough, just things. I'm totally failing on wording right now
no,
to
you're doing
actually make these things important, even though they're just something that some dude went and wrote down. You know what I mean?
well, and like that's kind of, you know, one of the things that we're finding about out in this like cryptocurrency time is it doesn't quite matter so much what the thing is. It matters how many people do the same thing. You know, it matters how many people are on the one team. A fun little statistic for you regarding the Declaration of Independence: only about 2% of America wanted to declare independence at the time that it happened. Most of America didn't give a fuck. They're just like, oh yeah, whatever. Like I hate getting bullied, but like most people were like, not my problem, you know. And then there was enough people that resisted that it came to fruition. And then when the British came over and they started doing atrocious things, and more people piled on into it. And so like it really didn't start with that many folks at all. It was about 2 or 3% or something like that in the beginning. And so like even that was significant enough to cause the king to go to war, and then they obviously lost, and here we are nowadays. But like, don't you and you shouldn't feel bad about not knowing history. If it's not taught, it's not learned. It's like that there is no moral judgment from not knowing things that were never taught to you. So you're doing great. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Fair enough. And I
Also,
definitely think there's something to be said for the concept that most people do not think they can change the world. And so your 3% thing is probably the 97% was like, it's not going to change anything anyways. So that's just once again kind of a reminder that I feel that way a lot. Like, I'm not going to change the world, but
yeah.
you never know, and you miss all of the opportunities you don't take. So if you ever get that feeling, if you want to do something great, no matter what it may be, take the leap, try. At the very least, try, and you can say you tried.
I agree, and that kind of like brings me back to this wonderful book right here, Green Eggs and Ham. There's something to be said about persistence. It was a small group of people, and they just kept trying, and they just kept persisting, they just kept persisting, and then eventually, homie tried the Green Eggs and Ham. The United States declared independence, and voila, there we go. So there's something to be said about just continuing to keep doing the thing, even if you're dying, even if you're losing, and even if you suck, you just keep going and going and going, until you get your goal accomplished, which is to get somebody else to eat some green eggs and ham, or to get people to leave a tyrannical government.
And I want to say, well, I think you were the only person I know who could successfully relate green eggs and ham to the Declaration of Independence. And my brain says, yeah, that kind of works.
There you go. I'm a hypnotist.
That's beautiful.
So Nate, I see you you requested I read the end of the Declaration again. That is the best part of the whole thing. Do you want to share your video before or after?
I say we bring up my video, okay? Make it full screen, and then you can go ahead and while it's going, maybe read it while it's over, because my video is only a minute long.
Okay,
so.
Okay. Go ahead. So read the thing after the video.
Full screen.
He wants you to try and read it at the same time.
Oh, okay. All right. We might have some volume. We might have some volume confliction here, but I guess
let's give it a shot.
We can try.
Yeah. Nate, have your finger on the volume adjustment and let me know how it goes. So whenever you're ready, I guess play the video and I'll read. I cannot hear the video, actually. Can you guys hear the video?
I mean, I can hear it, but it's in my background, so
this is the best thing ever. I swear.
I can't hear the video, but I'll go ahead and read it while the snake is, or while the eagle is doing his thing.
Wait, so you couldn't hear the video?
I couldn't hear it. No, I imagined it was playing the America.
Oh, I turned the sound on in it, but yeah, crap.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well.
We therefore,
That's
the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress, assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these colonies are. Nate, go ahead and replay the video since there's no sound coming out of it. That's a good background thing. That these colonies are and right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the great state of Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of the Declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the Declaration
Hell
of
yeah.
Independence. Fuck yeah. Eagle doing the weird things. Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
So Marcus and Jemmy are saying no audio. I hope that you guys could hear me reading. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I could not hear the video playing itself. So there we go. I guess there's no audio from the video, but there you guys go. The end of the Declaration of Independence. And That's been our
wow, I
stream.
was an idiot. Actually, I did not click the share audio button. Wow, I'm stupid. Okay, wow.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
It was so
No
great.
worries.
That was great background while you were reading it. So
There we go,
that
guys.
satisfied me.
Excellent, excellent. Mrs. Producer, we've had looks like 2 people have joined us, Mr. Marcus and Mr. K Hudson. If you wouldn't mind bringing up Mr. Marcus says, "What up, all? Smash the like before you light some fireworks." Absolutely, Mr. Marcus. Glad that we could have you with us tonight. And then also Mr. K Hudson hops in and says, "Happy 250th, happy 250th, ladies and gentlemen." I think is it 250 or 249? I don't know. Whatever it is.
250.
Happy 250th, baby.
Yep.
Can you imagine the misery around the world if we didn't win the Revolutionary War? Well, I'll tell you what, there would be no interstate system. So there's that. And also, again, I would be drinking tea instead of coffee. So what a horrible world that would be. Oh, and Mr. Hexkin Lost in Asia has joined as well. Happy Independence Day to all. Congrats on the inbound money. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. What were you saying, Nate?
For real. Oh, I just want to say, okay. He was on my stream last night, and he wanted me to look up Q. It was I can't remember Q Anon. That's what it was. And I looked that up, and I swear to God, that was just someone trolling on the internet. I swear, but yeah, no, he hung out with me last night on my stream, so that was pretty neat. A lot of fun.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah, Mr. K Hudson clarifies they heard the eloquent reading. All right, so that's good. So it wasn't just a dead a dead airspace stream. That's excellent. Alrighty. Real quick, yes or no question for the 2 of you guys. Should Americans read the Declaration of Independence at least one point in time during their adult life? Nate, what do you think?
I think it needs to be required reading for school. Like that's got to be something
reading.
Like every 4th of July, have the class read out or have, it being like a reading material thing or whatever. That's what I think.
That's what you think. What about you, Mrs. McGettit? What do you think? Is it important?
Yeah, I don't see why not. It kind of, like I said, it kind of goes to put together those ideas that we were talking about a little bit, where it only takes, a handful of people to believe in something to really make it become reality. And the information that you shared about only 3% of people, cared at first, and how it took a while for them to come around and actually fight back. I just think it's good knowledge to have. It's very important. And also, don't be like me, who gets these things all muddled up and confused and thinks that the Declaration of Independence has something to do with the 10 Commandments and that they're connected somehow. So,
excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, don't sweat it. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Before we go and before we sign off for the night, or actually, we'll go ahead and start with you, Mrs. Producer. Where can the folks find you, and what have you got going on in the near future?
if you want to talk to me for whatever weird reason, I can't imagine why, unless you're interested in Pokemon, then I can see it. You can find me in the DGen Roundtable Telegram. Nate is so kindly spasmodically pointing at our QR code down there. Go ahead and scan that guy. That'll help you get in there. Otherwise, the link is in the description if you're like me and you're really lazy and you just want to click a link and be done with it. Will has also done us the courtesy of dropping it in the chat. So you can go ahead and click on that one if you want to join us over there and hang out, chat, whatever you want to do. As for me, for what I got coming up, I just talked to Jay, and we are planning to kind of restart the health streams because, like I mentioned before, I've been super busy figuring out all this vending stuff. So that's fallen a little bit to the wayside. And the carnivore diet has been stalling for me for like 3 months. It hasn't done anything. So I'm going to talk to Jay, kind of pick his brain a little bit on why that's going on, look at changing some things up, and kind of I guess restarting, revamping, coming up kind of with a new plan and seeing what I want to do there. And that will be Monday evening, it sounds like is what we're aiming for so far. If that changes, I'll let you guys know. And again, that'll be in the Telegram. But anyways, so Monday for talking about that health stream. And then I am hoping to get another special guest on. I have to contact them, so I don't want to make any promises until I talk to them, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be excited to join. If that happens, I'm hoping for Thursday so I can get back on track with doing them on Thursdays. Maybe not this Thursday, but next Thursday, one or the other. One of those two would be kind of what I'm aiming for. But for sure, me and Jay are going to get it figured out, get something up there, start figuring that out again. And yeah, other than that, I am working on more vending events. I've got 2 more this month, so I'm super excited about that. They're both near the end, so that kind of sucks. I wish they'd be a little more spread out because one of the things that I'm worried about when it comes to vending is running out of inventory. And so 2 weeks in a row, not entirely ideal when I'm not in a position to like get a whole bunch of new stuff in, because I don't necessarily have the funds to start getting a bunch of stuff in. So right now I'm just going through what I already have, kind of sitting around and hoping to offload some of it, put that money back into new stuff. And Nate and I do want to get a new car soon too. So we've got a lot going on over here, honestly.
Excellent. Excellent. On that subject, Mr. Nate, where can the folks find you, and what have you got going on in the near future?
Well, actually, so guys, go ahead, stay on with me. I'm going to be continuing the stream over on Kick and Twitch, and then I'm going to start up my YouTube as soon as we're done here as well. I might shut it off real quickly just to switch my cameras around a little bit, but yes, I'm going to be going back on stream until it's time for fireworks, and then we're going to have a little bit of a date night sort of thing, even though we had a date day. So yeah, but you can find me on X, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. The Ascending Man on every single one of them. It's hard to miss me as long as you type in those words. So go ahead, let's hang out, let's have a good time. Yeah, and let's just keep going. I'll pass it on to you.
Excellent. For the folks at home that are looking to find me, you can find all of my socials based out of the Pulse domain will.pls.fyi. That is where all of my YouTube, Twitter, well, I guess this is the YouTube, Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, all that stuff can be found off of that will.pls.fyi. As far as stuff I'm doing in the near future is I am working a lot more inside of the Meeting Hexicans Telegram to try and get folks to learn how to go and meet Hexicans IRL. So if you're a Hexican and you want to go meet other Hexicans, Mrs. Wild SJ has given this this Telegram a shout out in conjunction with helping Richard with the marketing and stuff. One of the things that she recommended people do is go and do real life IRL meetups. So if you guys are a Hexican and you want to go meet other Hexicans and you want to like coordinate between folks and find out where everyone's at and like be like, hey, I'm going to the bar, or I'm going axe throwing, or I'm going to go like fucking walk my dog over here, then go to bit.ly/hex_meetup. Find a local place for you guys. And if there isn't one already in there, then you can make one. I've given everyone the ability to make topics inside of that Telegram group. So bit.ly/hex_meetup or t.me/hex_meetup. They both work. The bit.ly just takes you straight to the start here page. So that's what I've got. I'm working on that, trying to teach people how to do IRL stuff. And then other than that, I'm just building towers here in Texas for the foreseeable future. So you guys can find us here streaming on the DGen Roundtable. I'm going to bring myself full screen here, Mrs. Producer. We are on youtube.com/@DGen Roundtable. We are live every 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, where we interview guests, Friday, where we cover books, and then Sunday, where we cover the weekly news in cryptocurrency. So that's what we've got going on the DGen Roundtable. And we're just doing some more news later this Sunday. So it's going to be a good time. It'll be a great time. And that's all that I've got for now. So that being said, time to read the end of show copywriting. I want to thank all of you for spending your valuable time with us here on the DGen Roundtable. As Agent Jay often says, we know that time is your most valuable asset, and we appreciate you investing it right here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Will Stevenson, but more importantly, you have been watching the DGen Roundtable. Mrs. Producer, go ahead and get that trigger finger ready, because it's time to remind all the folks at home to remember to DGen responsibly.